Hello, everyone. I hope you are well. Let me give you all access to the chat here. Hey, Blake. Hey, Damien. Hey, Davey. Hey, David. Nice. Mm-mm-mm. Wait, Flo just joined. Let me promote to panelist. Hey, Damien. This is a English office hour, and the webinar chat should be open to all now. Just activated for everyone. And yeah, so for those of you who are new to this session, and sorry for me, it's the end of the day. I've been jumping from meeting to meeting, so I'm a little bit gonna need to warm up a bit to switch my mind. Hi, Florian.
Hi, Joyce. Hi, everyone.
So yeah, for those of you who are new to these office hours, we host these office hours every week with Flow at the same time, so 12 p.m. Eastern time. A couple of hours before, we have onboarding sessions that are for complete beginners, where it's more about like the basics of WeWeb. And the purpose of these office hours is for more, I mean, we can have beginner questions. They're no silly questions, so please feel free to ask your questions. And the idea is that you ask your questions in the little Q&A box. You can chat all you want in the chat, that's fine. But just if you want a question answered, we recommend you post them in the Q&A box, and we will go through them. We will try to go through all of them. It's 1 hour long, and we will invite you to join. So to hop on, open your mic, share your screen, and show us what you're working on. So Blake, for example, I can see I have a few quick questions semicolon, but I do not see your questions. So, and feel free to just post one question at a time in the Q&A. But yeah. All right, so we'll start with David, and let me promote you as panelist, David, so you can show us your project.
Hello. Hi, me again.
Hi,
Hey,
David.
David.
Hi, Joyce. Hi, Florian. Yeah, I think you remember my question from last time. Haven't made much progresses to be very transparent. Happy to share the screen. So just so that you recall, I have this array of objects here, which should populate with the option name. And then onto the next page here, have the possibility to add further details to the page. So like an amount here. And there is this global workflow that is here with the parameters with option and amount. I will add more later, but just I want the first two to work, where here it inserts in the end the option in the amount, and then onto this page have another workflow on change to populate the array with this event value. I tried to do this, but it doesn't populate, and I don't understand, but I don't see it, the variable with the amount, like a dedicated variable onto the elements or the project variables. So yeah, I come to see if you can guide me a bit on this one.
Can you show us again the global workflow?
Yes, like.
Okay, and this one works if you go to if you test this workflow.
It works to add, but it doesn't work to remove. It works to add the option name, but not the amount. And this doesn't work because it's not an array or a collection.
Ah, yes, I remember that one. Okay, but this is not your issue right now. Right now, your issue is that within your table, you cannot update,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So in here, you are using this workflow, right? On chains or on this one.
Um,
This is
executing the workflow, you mean before?
okay. No, you are doing it okay like this. So you select obj, update one item. Can you show me the index?
Can you explain why selected object, why it's an array variable?
This one, right.
Is it the selected objects, all of the objects?
So selected object here would be
Yeah, it's this one. Okay, it's the array. Sorry.
yes,
Yeah,
it's an
just
array. Yeah.
yeah. I was wondering.
So this one is not right. You see in index, you should bind to item.index instead of the event. The event is the value of your input.
Okay.
So in here, it will select 0 or 1, so option 1 or option 2, which is the first item of the second item. So as you selected an item on the first line, the index is 0, so this is nice. It's going to update the first object within your
Okay.
array. And so now you need to bind the value, this time to the event like you did. So can you click on value below on the right? No, this one is okay. Yes, value. And in here, it's not item.data.amounts. It's the value of your item that you want. So you can remove that. You can
Because
go,
otherwise, just because I used to make the same mistake often, otherwise you're binding the data to the existing data, so you're not really updating the variable.
Okay.
and so now if you click value,
This
value,
one.
yes, the value of the event. So
Uh-huh.
the value from your UI. So now it should work. So if you go back to your table and you change 200 by something else.
Yes.
Okay. So this is almost right. So we removed we replaced the full value, but we had to add a key to the object. So can you go back to the previous page so we could update selected
Sure.
object like it was? And we'll do that again. We'll change the value to add an object instead.
I need to go on the global workflow or just remain on this page.
Just select option 1, 2 like you did.
Okay.
Just to
So,
1, 2, perfect. And now you can go back to your table. And can you go again to the workflow that you added on change?
okay.
Okay, this one, perfect. So in here, you see in value, we replace the full object, so the second item, by the value of your select input. So this is not what you want. What you want is to add a key to this object. So you have option name, but you want to have something like, I don't remember the
Amount, I think.
amount. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
you just want to have amount after option name, right?
Correct. Yeah, as a new
Mhm.
related to option 1. Yeah.
Okay, so what you can do, so you can do two things. So let me just think okay, we can do both ways. So let's do it like this right now. So click value and instead of this, what you can do is to use I think we have a formula for this, so it can be simple.
You don't want to do the partial update?
Well, you're absolutely right, Joyce. This is a partial update. So in here, you type in amount, and this will work. Thank you, Joyce. I do need a coffee too.
Thank you.
So let's try this.
Should I click on test?
It won't work because the event you cannot have the data on the event, but
Oh, it works.
and now it's nice.
Ah, I don't understand why it works, but it it works. So I need to figure it out afterwards by myself. But
So
that's
it works. So before it didn't work because we were just updating index 0. So what was an index 0? We were replacing with the number. And now it works because instead of just replacing index 0 with the amount value, we're saying on index 0, do a partial update. Please just add this key, the amount key, and with this corresponding value.
okay.
Does that make sense? Or
Um,
not really? Don't
yeah,
worry if it doesn't.
no, I will think about it, but thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And now if I want to add like other columns here, I reply I apply the same reasoning. So if I want a date, I just go in path and I put date, but before on the global workflow, I need to set that as a parameter, right? So I need to add the new criteria.
Why don't you try it? I
Yeah.
would first try to do it with the local workflow. I would try to get it to work with the local workflow.
Okay.
And then later on, if you are using this workflow again in different places, then I would change it to global workflow, because with global workflows, because you need to anticipate those parameters, personally, I find it more difficult to get started. So
Okay.
if you're not used to global workflows, I would recommend just getting things to work locally and then figuring out later if you can scale that. I don't know if you would agree, Flo. I mean,
Yeah,
I know in terms of development, it's best practice to go with
it's
like
better.
global work.
You can understand exactly what you are doing and then do global workflow so you could
Use it again.
yes.
Okay, I will definitely do that. And you don't need to tell me now because I assume other people need to pass, but if you just can maybe in the chat tell me how I can remove here because it asks for something I don't have, that would be great. Yeah.
Before you leave, could you go back to the elements to the table, because I think you used a data grid, right? In here.
Yes, it's a data grid now.
So can you click the pen? Yes, here, the edit button, select the data grid, and in here you see on the right, on the workflows, you've got update row and delete row. So if you click on the update row in here, you see you've got on row update. So the data grid, so what you did works with any element. So if you drag and drop table, for example, you can do exactly like you did. If you are using the data grid, you can use this on row update. And when you click the edit pen on the data grid, then the column goes into an edit mode and not a read mode. Then you can change something, and when you validate, it triggers this workflow. And in the event, you've got the full object in here. So all your columns. So you don't have to do what we did for each one of your columns. It's done automatically with the data grid.
Oh. Ah, yes, I see in the value here. There is everything.
And if you add more columns, you have all of them here. So you can make the update just once and the workflow just wants to update.
Ah. And
So
can I, okay. Ah, I see now. Okay.
I'm
Interesting.
sharing the docs to the data grid in the chat because we have I mean, I haven't seen the video in a while, so maybe it's not good. I don't know, but I think we talk about it in the video if it can help you. I don't know if maybe you've seen it already,
The
but
video you sent the other time?
yeah. I don't know if it's the video I sent the other time, because I don't know if you were using the data grid or I don't know. But anyway, I
Yeah.
sent the documentation
Thank
to the
you.
data grid, which you might find helpful because what Florian just described should
Definitely.
be in there.
Definitely. Cool.
And if it's not, let me know.
Sure, we'll do as well. But yeah, thanks so much for your help. And yeah, if you can drop me in the chat, then I stop sharing the thingy for the removing the option when it's selected. That would be super nice.
Cool.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot.
much. Wish you a great evening. I stay
You
now,
too.
but cheers. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. All right, so we've got Blake with a question. mostly about performance, which is cool. We're having a lot of questions about performance and like how to build, how to build in a way that improves performance. So I think that's really cool. Well, I continue to think we need a mini course about this. So the more questions I see you answer on the topic, the more food for thought. Hey Blake. Wow. I want to take a screenshot of this. Looks amazing.
It is nice indeed.
Yeah, you're muted though, Blake.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Been working on this for a while. It's a project management for construction businesses.
Okay.
So my first question is when I'm editing, like in this page, I just have really high memory usage. Is that normal? Or is this a little higher than
Yeah.
average? I'd say I'm like between 5 and 7 gigs, like normally.
So this is not normal, but it's not because of you.
Okay.
So we are working on that. We have some memory leaks kind of and some other things we are working on right now. So we are really focused on the editor currently with some developers to improve the performances of the editor. So in the coming weeks, you should see really better some changes, and it should really work a lot better. And
Okay.
in the coming weeks. So I'm really sorry for this right now. We are improving that, and it will also improve some of the performances of the published app too. So yes, right now the editor is
Okay.
kind of laggy if you have many data, and especially if you repeat things inside repeated item. In that case, it can really go. It can really slow the editor, and we are working on that currently. So
Okay.
hopefully in the coming weeks, it should be a lot better.
Okay, that sounds good. Next question would be, so my system goes from like, here's like a list of projects, right? So then they click on a project. And when you click on a project, there's so much data on a lot of different tables. I've got like, I'm starting to play around with this like as a drop down like that so that it doesn't render
Yeah, everything at
this,
once.
doesn't have to pull so many different tables or like fetch so much. But will it auto fetch if all of these are on like auto fetching? Will it auto fetch those every time if they're not on like a conditional rendering?
Yes, if it's used on the page, it's going to be triggered.
Okay, so something like this one, would this be triggered? This, if I have it under a like conditional rendering. Actually, I thought I did. Maybe the columns are. Oh yeah. So if it's being hidden through the conditional rendering rather than through just a display, when I open this page, will it try and fetch this?
Yeah, I think it will. But I see
It
that
still will.
this is a component, right?
Yeah.
So the best way for this for you, so you did the right thing, is to toggle off the auto fetching for this collection, and to add a workflow on mount for this component just to fetch the collection. And so when it's going to be rendered, it's going to fetch the collection. So it's going to fetch only when it's going to be rendered on the page. So when you click on your header here.
Okay. So this is done the right way. It will.
Yes, this is really done the right way. But
Okay.
do you see what I mean with the workflow on your component on mount? So if you edit your component, can you edit it? Can you open this one? Yeah, can you edit
This
the
part?
component? Yes, the component you have inside, I think it's a component, right? I think I saw I saw that.
I haven't made it into a component.
I thought it was one. Ah, no, it's a collection list. Sorry. It's my screen. I saw it
Yeah,
was.
I actually have it under this columns. I think this is what's being rendered as the columns.
Okay, so can I see the condition here for the conditional rendering?
Yeah, it's just a Boolean.
Still, and what workflow is triggering that?
So that's just it's just a variable.
Mm-hmm.
When you click this,
Okay, so
you
instead,
click
in the-
here.
so you must have a workflow here. So perfect. So in here, you can fetch your collection. Oh, you already did that. Okay.
Yeah, and I have it just fetching if it's true.
Okay. So yes,
So
you've got the right approach. So you should toggle off the auto fetch for this collection. So you are
Okay.
sure that it will be fetched only when you click on that.
Okay, I just need to turn off the auto fetch on this
Yes,
collection. Got
exactly.
it. Okay, so then I should probably just go through and do that to all of these
All
because
of
there's
the
so many
indeed.
collections that it's so slow to open this page.
And also what you can do is to just fetch the first collections that the user can see
Okay.
manually on page load. And what you can do is just to fetch the one below just after. So for the user experience, when he goes to that page, he sees the data immediately that are first, and then the other collections. You can manually, in the workflow, choose which one to fetch.
Okay.
And you've got also another action to fetch collections at the multiple time. I mean, if you need to fetch, you can do batches, like
In parallel. Yeah, it's
in
Oh yeah,
fetch
yeah.
collection in
Yeah,
parallel.
fetch in parallel.
Yeah.
Does that do any difference if I just do one versus like if I do fetch in parallel every time rather
Uh,
than
but it depends. For example, in here, if you've got on that screen without scrolling 3 collections, do in parallel those 3 collections and do another action for the one below. You can do something like this
okay.
also.
Okay.
I would.
What about as for the tabs? So I should probably just do the same thing. Maybe
Yeah.
do fetch collection when you click on a tab, so then it doesn't auto do it when you open the page.
Absolutely, yes.
Is that the right approach on that too?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And then you can
Um,
also add some loading elements, just when you click task, like
yeah.
so the
Yeah, I
user
need to
knows.
put loaders through like
Yes,
everywhere.
exactly.
Other question is staging any slower than published, or are they going to be the same?
No, it should be the same.
Okay. And my last question is with my dark theme, it seems to work perfectly on this page, and this might just be a bug that I need to report. It seems to work perfectly on this page, but when it's in staging, it doesn't get all of my colors right. And then I have to,
Okay,
like, if I toggle it back and forth, it works. But when I first load a page, it
but
doesn't
it's
work.
not the case on the editor, right?
But it works, yeah, it works in the editor.
Okay, so each time you have a difference between the editor and staging or production, create a ticket immediately, and this is the kind of ticket we prioritize
Okay.
immediately. So if you can just create a ticket on the support.weweb.io and just explaining this, and someone from the tech team will definitely take a look.
Okay. That sounds good.
Cool.
I think it's everything. Unless there's any other tips that you have for me to try to speed things up.
Do components.
Use components.
Yes, use components in here.
Okay.
And linked sections, because I guess I had the question actually in the onboarding session. It's a good time to ask you because I wasn't sure, but so one of the benefits of using linked sections, multi-page sections, is that when you navigate, the user navigates to a page that has that section, like let's say a linked section, that section is not reloaded. That's the same for components, right?
Oh, okay.
Or
Not if you change some pages, but
not if you change page
if you have multiple instances of the component on the same page, yes.
on the same page. Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, so
All
like
right,
all of
Blake.
all of these are really slowing it down, huh? Probably.
Oh,
should
yes.
be
Yes. It's okay if it's
Is it conditional rendering?
yes, if it's
I put all
conditional.
of them under conditional rendering, yeah.
So
So
this is
that a majority of them are like, are you sure you want to delete this item?
Yeah.
That's what a
okay.
lot of
So
them
for
are.
example, when I say, are you sure to delete 2, 3, 4, 5? I think you can do only one for this one, and within just do a component instead that can be different, and you can create your own properties and bind accordingly. For example, you would
Okay.
have something inside
Maybe
2, 3, 4, 5 as a property, and so you would just have only one section, and the component would be different if you bind to
you,
the correct thing. It would be much
you
more
could
easier.
use maybe you could use the alerts element as an example for inspiration.
Oh, that's a good point, Joyce, and I didn't update it with a component, and it should be.
Mm.
This is a good point. But really, components
Okay.
are at first kind of huge. I mean, like you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
So
I think that's that's
start
why I
from-
haven't really used them much.
Mm,
But now maybe I need to dive into those and start replacing some of these with those with
yeah,
components.
it will help you maintain your application a lot better. And once you need to make an update, you do the update only once. So
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, cool.
I will work on that. Thank you so much.
Nice.
cool.
Thanks a lot, Blake. Your project looks really nice. Good
Yeah.
luck with it.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's have Damien. Oh, I got scared there. My Zoom window closed on me. It was did I just end the webinar or something? All right, Damien, promote the panelist. How can you retrieve the value of a file input that is located in a repeated list? I've tried the on-change technique, but I can't get the CDN URL.
Hello,
Hi, Damien.
I don't
hi.
know.
Can I speak French or on English?
No, honestly, if you want to speak in French, we have live streams in French on Mondays on the Twitch channel of No Code France. So
Yes,
if you'd like, we
yes.
can.
Okay, so well, I don't speak very well. I try to explain
No
my
worries.
problem. Alors,
I
how
think
do you share a screen?
So on the Zoom interface, you should have a share screen option. Like there should be
Okay,
a big
yes,
button.
yes. Okay. So I want to alors I have a collection list just here. Alors is an repeating group in the events, and when I click on here, I have a repeating list with a formula form but here. And in my form, I have an upload field input,
Okay.
and I don't pick the URL in the CDN and WeWeb to the save in the my backend in the Airtable because I don't have on here.
Yeah, it will do it for all of them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You know my problem?
Yes, I think I
Yes.
got it. And you're gonna have to use some components to do that. It's going to take some time, and you're not the first one to ask for this. So to have the time to answer other question, what I propose is that I'm going to do a dedicated post on the community to explain how to do it.
Okay.
And I'll do that in the next 24 hours for sure.
And maybe 48. Give yourself a little bit of mental.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
So
Oh.
I
We'll
create.
write a tutorial. We'll
Yeah.
write a tutorial for you in the
Okay.
community and share it with you because it'll take a little bit too long to explain now, and it would be easier to do it on our own computer to prepare a nice tutorial for you. And you're not the first person to ask, so I think it will be a good tutorial for everyone. So Florian will take a look at that and post in the community.
Okay.
So in the
Okay.
community, I'll share the link to the English speaking community. So I'll share the link if you want to. That should be out in the next couple of days, let's say. Yeah, 24 hours plus taxes, like David. David said.
Okay, okay. No
All
problem.
right,
Okay. Thank you very much.
cool.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a
Have a
lot.
good day.
And
Nice.
thank you for making the effort of speaking English. Really appreciate it. It's not easy.
Yes.
Okay,
No problem. Thank you too. Have a good day.
you too. All right, so now we have Ryan or Rian, so who's going to be able to tell me how to pronounce the name, because I kept pronouncing Rian during the onboarding session, and then I realized maybe it's Ryan. You are muted.
Just a second. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
So,
Good to see you.
hi, good to see you too. So it's Rian, you were correct.
It's Rian. All right.
Say
Good.
yes.
First instincts.
So,
Trust my gut.
so, oops, just a second. My talk. Sorry. So, guys, basically, I have this question about components. I saw in another of ours recorded on YouTube that the advice for organizing the components is basically creating a new workspace. And I'm trying to reproduce that. I can share my screen.
Mhm.
Just a second. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right, so this workspace here that I'm showing right now is basically the one that I created for try to reproduce to create my component. So I've first created a simple button that I call primary button, and it worked well. But then I was trying to create my footer, and of course I can create more modular stuff here. So like the links, and I was trying to do that with the using the primary button that I created. So let me edit my button here. As you can see, right now I have the login and logout button, but they shouldn't be shown at the same time, of course. So the login button has a logic, understanding if the user is not authenticated, so I show the login. If it is authenticated, I show the logout. So here on my real page, I can show. So, oops. Forgot to click on edit. Just a second. So here now I am logged out. So I have the login and create account button with yeah, I created also a component here inside this project as well, because then worked fine, because I'm just reusing this from the answer of super beta health. So my question is basically if there is a way to share these props or states globally in a way I can somehow create this
Okay,
type
so
of
you don't have to
component.
bind to Superbase. That's it. That's the
Yes,
okay.
yes.
The best way for doing this is to create a property. So on your footer,
Mhm.
if you go to if you go to just in here, you can create a property display login. So
Mm,
we can quickly do it. So in here you would select Boolean. You
mhm.
can click display login. Okay, by default it can be true or false as you want.
Okay. I
You can
do it
let it false.
false
And
first.
in here, your login button, instead of binding directly to Superbase, bind to the property. So you can select
Mm.
button. You already selected it, so that's okay. You
But
can,
then this is it's bindable. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
just choose where the property will be. But you will immediately understand just after when you are going back to the instance. But before,
So I would need to publish here, right?
not yet, not
Sorry.
yet.
Mhm.
Go to the login button in here, go to style, and where you bind the display, sorry, the settings, or display, it's okay. It's as you wish. So in the display here, can you click yeah. In here, instead of binding to that, remove this and bind to the property. And you can remove
If it is
yes.
display login. Oops. Sorry.
Okay, great.
All right, great.
And just publish for the test.
Library.
And say add property to something like this. Perfect. Okay, great. So you can go back here. You need to update your library too here. Okay, perfect.
All
Can you
right.
select the footer now?
Let me. I will need to add because this footer is a component created directly here. So let me add the footer.
It's not
All
the
right.
same one? It was
No,
not.
no, it's not.
Okay,
It's not.
it's not the one. Okay.
Because since I was not able to do to
Okay.
replicate the behavior, I just created a one
Got
directly here.
it. And now you see
Uh,
in here, you've got display login on the right. This is your property, and you can bind
so
to
and I can bind here.
exactly.
Of is
Uh, yeah, you were right. It was the third tab with the user. I think it was this one because you wanted to make sure that
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah.
that's great. So I can just simply pass here false or true. Perfect, perfect. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I think you
it's
need to use not or like you the like you did. It's the inverse logic true false. I think.
sorry.
In here you want to display login if the user is. Oh no, it's okay. It's if it's no you want yes that's the other way around. You can use not the formula or the I lost my English.
Got it.
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark. Thank you, Joyce.
Perfect, perfect. All right. So basically, is this a prop communication, right? There is no way to do it globally.
But
Like,
it's not a good practice, I think, to do it globally in
all
here.
right.
I think it's a lot better to do it with props, so you can manage for each instances the logic, I think. But your component should be inside the link section if it's a footer, because I think you wish to use this component on all your pages, right?
Yes, yes, that's
Be the
right.
same. Okay. So to prevent you from having to bind the property on all the pages, you need it to be really the same instance on all your pages. And this is what Joyce said just before. So what you need to do is can you add a blank section in here? We'll do it together. So basically,
Elements.
section are used here. Section, if we keep section, it's because it's a nice way to prevent you from reloading the section when you change page. This is why
I
it's
see, I see. So I would put here inside and then create a.
yes, exactly. And now if
I'm
you go
just
to, sorry, Joss, yeah.
No, sorry, sorry to interrupt. I'm just adding the documentation to multi-page sections for everyone in the chat. I really recommend you have a look at it, even if you think you're familiar, because it's an underrated feature of
Yeah.
WeWeb, I think.
Then,
Yeah, exactly.
then just to be sure if I got it correctly, so a mood page section would render only once, even for multiple pages. So it's like a template, a layout, and then our routes come inside this. But components in every page would render more than once. It would render
yes,
for
but
every page.
it won't be the same instance, exactly.
I see, I see, I see.
So if you
Perfect,
had
perfect.
properties like we did, you would have to rebind those properties because it's another instance.
I see.
And it's important because, for example, if you do a component, a button component, and you wish to have a secondary, primary prop, something like this, you want to have different instances in your application. So this is why. But if you need it to be the same on all your pages, you see in here you've got the nav bar. The nav bar is blue. So if you duplicate the page, for example, or let's create a blank page. If you agree, can you create just a new page?
We'll
on
then we'll need to move on afterwards because it's 22 and we still have quite a few
Yeah.
questions. So
So
Okay,
really,
I can go from here. It was clear, very
but
perfect.
you're
So thank you
not
very
done
much.
yet because the section is not linked yet in here. That's why I just wanted you to do that.
yeah.
Quickly create a blank page. Like no, you need to go to pages. Yes, here, create a new page, call it to be deleted. So you will remember to delete that.
Yes.
Okay, and in here, okay, it's empty, perfect. So now if you go to the add panel, you see on the left, you've got multi-page section. No, can you click add on the top like you did here? On the left, you see you've got multi-page sections just below that. Yes, here. In here, you've got
All right.
project, and you see all the blue one are instances. So if you select the footer from the page you were before, so I don't remember which one it was.
I didn't create it.
Yes, the page you were before, where you added the section mastering. Okay. So can you go back, please, to the new page you created? Test, perfect. Go to multi-page section. So add panel.
Add.
Here, multi-page section. Go to, well, in the search type in a footer, just at the top. Footer, because I think it was how it was called. And if you scroll to mastering,
This.
yes, can you drag and drop it? And you see in here, make a copy or to create an instance. And if you create an instance, you see on the left it's blue. So now
It's linked.
exactly, if you edit it here, it will be edited everywhere. And that's the difference between link section and components. And if you when you publish, so in the editor it will reload every time, but once you publish your application, if you have the same section on the two pages, the application won't reload this part of the application. So for example, if you have a sidebar on your project, the sidebar will remain when you change a page.
And then it's also possible to create on the other workspace and add here as a section template. So I keep the organization I'm doing.
The section templates are like
there's documentation on this. We really need to move on.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I took too much.
Thank you very much, guys.
I'll share that document. Thanks a lot for this, and sorry because thanks Ryan. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
And Ryan, so Ryan, Really, Ryan, I'll answer you in writing. I'll ask David to jump on in the meantime. And Ryan, I will share for your question. So Ryan is asking questions about like explaining the different workflow triggers like unmount, unblur, all of this. So just for everyone, we won't have time to answer this here. It's more of a web development question than really WeWeb. But number one, I will make a note to document either in the user docs or to do a little Academy mini course. And in the chat, I will try to find some resources while Flo answers Davey and share some resources that can help you understand those events, hopefully.
Hi guys.
Hey, Davey.
Hey.
Hi.
Thank you for your time. So yeah, I have a quick question. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna show you something that I want to do on a different website. So then you have an idea about what I'm trying to achieve, and then I just need some explanation on how to do it because I have no idea. I'm just starting with with
Okay.
WeWeb. So I'm on Eventbrite, that I guess everybody knows. I'm trying to build this feature right here. So when I go to the website, I want already to display the biggest city. So it's not the exact location, but let's say the biggest city around me, whatever radius it is, but like between 20 and 50 kilometers, whatever. And when I click on it, I want to be able to, as a user, to put my location or just to display online events, and then that will update my page, basically. And this is exactly what I'm trying to achieve now for my project. I just have no idea how to do it because somehow here I need to have the city name. So like as a text in the variable, I suppose. I also need to have the coordinates of the city from, I suppose, an API call made through Google Maps. Save them. And I'm just not sure how to approach it, what to do with variable, what kind of variable do I need to create. So we need some guidance. If you can, please, that would be amazing.
Okay, so this is a really good question and quite used for a few minutes, but I can give you some directions and then create a post also on the community. It would be much more easier to reach
I
you.
published it already.
Ah,
I
you
published a
published
post.
it already. Okay, so
Yeah,
really need
I
to
didn't have an exact answer. That's why I jumped into the office
Okay.
hour to try to get some help.
So
Okay.
So
My bad, but I'll take a look.
yeah,
But no, go for it, Florian.
we will definitely, but just to give you at least something right now, so you could dig a bit. You've got an action in the workflows, so that's called geolocalization normally. So yeah, if you just create a workflow here, and normally, yeah, it's
I'll get user location, I guess.
yes, exactly this one.
Okay.
So you can use this one if you test it. Your browser will need to you will ask you the permission to get it.
Okay.
And so this action is going to give you the location of the user. So based on that, you will be able to use this information to then select by default the proper city. But I think this is the last thing you need to do. First, what you can do is to go to the add panel, and on the add panel, you've got a ready-made element called search with results. Can you click add? Can you type in the search? Okay, and you see the second one?
This one.
Yeah, this one is kind of really, I think, what you need to have to really customize your answer. So you can try to add this one, see how it's built, because you can just have a static part with user localization like you wanted, and then a collection list with the results. So what you can do first is work with this one, try to bind it to a collection or just a variable based on a request you are going to make to a Google Map or something like this to get the cities.
Okay.
Or I don't know what backend what backend are you using?
I'm using Xano.
Okay, so I think the best way is to make an endpoint on Xano and let Xano make the call to a Google Map or something like this.
Oh,
Create
really?
an endpoint to return only the cities. Okay. First do that, bind to the search here and try to make the search so it could so the Xano endpoint returns what you need. And when you are done, add the user localization and update your Xano endpoint so it could return the proper city also with this information. So it's a bit of work. It's not trivial to do that.
Okay. And how do you extract because what you're saying is basically doing with the backend, but I was thinking that maybe with the backend is going to be actually slow in the sense that when someone go to the website, maybe they just would like to have the city. Because I used to build an app with the same backend as on the backend, and I was making the code from the front. And so your suggestion is actually the opposite now. Is like
No,
go
do it. You can do 2 endpoints. You can do just one no, really, it will be quick enough. Just do an endpoint in Xano. When the user comes to your website, just add a small loader, and it will take less than 1 second to have the data, I think.
But the user need to accept the location.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
And what happened if like someone say, no, I need to have a default value? How do I provide a default value for that?
With
conditional.
Yeah.
With what, sorry?
Just by default, if you don't add anything, your Xano endpoint by default should return cities, and just take the first one. Maybe with the IP, you can also try to guess where the user is, but this is something else.
And Davey Rian is saying in the chat that he's done this to get location weather, so he can show you if you need. And Ryan is saying he did the same with Xano with a tutorial that's available on the WeWeb community. So but yeah, and if you want to tag me in your community topic, I haven't had that chance. Haven't been in there this week yet, but if you want to tag me, I'll try to point you in the right direction as well to help you get unstuck with this.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
This is a great topic.
Yeah, love it. Cool. Talk to you soon, Davey.
Sure.
And just before moving on to like larger questions, because we have 8 minutes left, I just wanted to mention that Antoine had a question about BigQuery, just asking if there were any plans to have a native integration.
No, not this BigQuery, but you can make queries to BigQuery with a REST API call, I think. So you don't need a native connection to make your request normally.
So Antoine, maybe let me know in the chat if you want to jump on to discuss your use case, or maybe it would be, we might not have time. So if you can maybe create because I'm guessing if you're asking the question is that through REST API, you're finding something annoying. So if you want to share in the community what you find limitations are for you, and we can answer there as well.
Take a look, yeah.
And okay, let's have Sofiane finish this. Promote to panelist. Oh, sorry, I'll try to answer that after. I'll have you on afterwards. Hey, Ryan.
Hello, this meeting is being recorded.
Yes, it is.
Hello, thank you very much for your time. As always, it's very more than a pleasure. It's an honor to have you since you are.
No.
No, I think a good product should be.
Sorry.
We look forward to your invitation into one of your villas in Mexico. Thank you very much.
Yes, just ask. It will be a pleasure to have you for sure. I mean, the demand has already been said, so we'll work on it. So I have a little problem with the two SaaS that I'm building with WeWeb, and many more are coming, in fact, which I want to show you. And I mean, it's quite, I think, a trivial thing, but I really don't understand why.
Okay, sure.
So it is okay with the screen?
Yes.
Okay, super. So here, let's say I'm on a villa page and I book for a villa and I request to book. So when I click here, when I arrive, when I land into the inquiry page, it gets the same position as the previous page. Usually it's supposed to be on top of page. So that's a problem that I'm also having when I click on this website and I go there and I go to the section, the next page. It's at the bottom of the resource, and what I want is to be on the top of the page. So in terms of how it is done, so if I go to a Villa page, I have this button, and in the workflow, when I go into the navigate to, so I navigate to an inquiry page, and then I go to the top of the page. So on the editor, it works very perfectly. It goes on the top of the page, but on production and staging, since I guess, I mean, I have this problem. So
Could it be can you go back to production? Because I've noticed something in the past couple of weeks, the hashtag at the end of the
exactly.
URL. Yeah, and that's new, and I think it's a bug on our side. It's disrupting some of my personal projects.
Yeah, okay, so I can do
Yeah, if
I
you can
start
show
from
again,
scratch.
because I don't know if Flo, you noticed it.
No, I did not.
It's reported, so we have a ticket, we have an open ticket on this, but I'm not sure it's being prioritized at the moment.
It should be.
I think Alexi had started having a look, but
Okay. Okay, so
here you go. See, there's a hashtag at the end.
okay, so yeah, it should definitely be the case. Okay.
Okay.
We do
So
it.
that's that's a bug on our side, I think. We can you show us
And same
quickly
thing
your
here.
yeah. So I think we
Yeah,
need to fix
okay.
this on our side. I think it's not related to you, but we're aware and we're looking into it. Can you show us your pagination question, maybe?
Yeah, so for the pagination question, it's about so when I go into this resources page, so what I have here is I have a system of filters and things like that. So what I want to have, it's like, let's say I have three stuff. So what I can look, I can go to Xano dynamic. So ouais, attends. So attends, je vais remettre juste un. J'espère que ça va marcher ça. Est-ce que j'ai plus de ressources? Oui, voilà. Sorry. Yes. So here I have many resources. Like let's say I have 13 resources and I activate them here. I would love to have maybe let's say just 6 resources and then paginate them based on the dynamic collections. When I go into my layout, here I have the paginator. And I bind it to dynamic. And I would love to cap that to, let's say, 6 resources and then the next one. So for the 7 next one, so I will need 3 pages if I paginate just 6 resources per page.
Mm-hmm.
And here, for instance, I have 13 based on this filter. So if I just click on this one, I should have 13. As we see, the dynamic collections have been updated.
Okay.
And I don't know how to make it work since I bind it already to the dynamic collection, and I assume that based on let's say what I do here. No, I put 6.
Okay. I think if you wish it to be dynamic, so really with a core, because if you do it like this, it would be a front-end pagination. So you will load everything and then it's a front-end pagination. But I think Joyce is going to send you a documentation about this to to do it with Xano. You have some work on the Xano side to do. You need to enable pagination on the Xano side, and then you'll see that it will be quickly to link it to WeWeb. But I think everything is in the documentation already.
Okay.
So
yeah, sending
Super.
it now. Sofiane just sent it in the chat, and cool. Thanks a lot for this and for the hashtag. I will escalate the ticket after this call.
Okay, super. Can I ask a last question?
No, because we're running out of time, and I bumped Antoine for you, but actually, so I'd like to get Antoine on, possible. But next time we're in the community. Talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Ping me on the community. I'll answer you.
And yeah, sorry, Antoine. I thought maybe you didn't need to hop on, but if you want to tell us more about your project, go for it. You're mute. Oh,
Is
hey,
that better?
Antoine.
Hi, nice to
It's
meet you.
better.
Hi.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, my question was about the connection with BigQuery.
Mhm.
I'm gonna show you something. Oula. Um, do you see
No.
my screen? Not yet.
No.
Uh,
But so like Flo mentioned, it's possible to like make a call with the REST API plugin. Is there,
um,
did you try that already?
the problem is that I've just made an update of the Zoom
No worries.
but anyway, my problem is that in my collections, I have to all my data are on BigQuery,
Mhm.
specific data mart, and my project WeWeb, I have to my collections are queries, the post queries to a web agency,
Mhm.
and they use the Google library to go to BigQuery. So
Okay.
I don't see. I don't think. Do you understand what I say or no?
I'm not sure I got it. What do you mean?
All my collections are post queries to a single URL, which is the URL of my web agency. It's
What do you mean by web agency?
a developers of it's
The developers gave you an endpoint, right? To a
yes.
URL.
They gave me an URL with a
Mhm.
token. And in WeWeb, all my collections are strings with variables and so on. And I send them and I send a string to them.
Request. Okay.
They just request BigQuery with the same string,
Okay.
select or update or anything. And they send me, and so when I fetch, I get the result of what they've done with BigQuery.
Okay. So this is
So
okay.
that's a triangular thing, and I would like to know if
If you can make it directly, right?
I think no, because
You can with BigQuery do a REST API call. Can take quickly a look, but you can type in Google really REST API BigQuery, and you can just, I think this is something you may need to enable within BigQuery just to allow REST API calls. And so you will be able to directly make REST API call if you need.
So maybe that's something to check with your developers then, I would guess.
You can ask them, but be careful. Usually you don't like to call immediate, you don't like your front end to make a call to your database like this, except if it's for an internal tool. I mean, you need to trust your users because you need to connect an authentication system on top of it. So usually it's better to have a middleware to make sure that the users have the proper permission, but it depends on your use case.
well,
But you can call BigQuery for sure with a REST API call.
okay. I'll try. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Tell us if you struggle, but
Yes, please. Yes, okay. Thank you very much for your time.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Antoine. And sorry I jumped your turn.
Yeah, no problem.
Glad
No
we
problem.
could make it back. All right, cool. Well, thank you everyone again for your really cool questions. Super stimulating, super fun to talk to you as always. Thank you, Florian, for your time. And see you all next week. And we might have a surprise for you next week, by the way. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.